And we are live from the capital city of the internet, Cambridge, Massachusetts. What a day it is here in Cambridge. It's a tip of a day. Perfect fall day, for which I'm sure we'll pay at some point by a terrible winter or a worse spring. In any event, my name is Dr. Jeffrey Land. I am the CEO, the co-founder, and the chairman of the Scholarship Committee. We're going to be talking to you quite a lot about that. What does a chairman of the Scholarship Committee do but make other people happy? Well, at least some of them. I have been CEO and co-founder of World Profit now for over 20 years. And I don't look a day over 22 myself, so I was a very early to the position. We have been around the world now for so many decades. People know us all over this planet. They know us for our integrity, our dreams, our good humor, our often rollicking programs, our timeliness, our sensitivity, oh yes, and our complete net of perfectibility. Why not? Enjoy today by sharing Somerville in the great western part of the nation. Good afternoon, how are you, and welcome to Anything Goes.
Hey, I'm great. I've been baking all morning.
Oh my, tell. We like bacon. What is it?
Pies in the oven right now.
Oh my! Pastor Michael Harris would get very jealous. He is a pie fanatic. Today's topic involved what most of our topics involve: money. And in my fair city of Cambridge, there was a man named Benjamin Franklin. Perhaps you heard of him. He lived 2 blocks from where I'm talking to you. He was a citizen of the world, but first a citizen of Boston and Cambridge. And he has his favorite expression: time is money. And we all know that that's true. So today I'm going to be teaching you to tell time, a new kind of way to tell time. Make money 24/7, 365. But before I do, I want to point out that today we are enabling, empowering, and enriching 5 lucky, but luck isn't entirely it, isn't. Dedicated, conscientious, committed people. We are delighted, ecstatic, honored to be entering into partnership with them to help them go with the speed of light to achieve their success. And I want to say this, the people looking window, and we have 2 audiences for this program. We have the people who are here, what I call the Live Business Center, the studio audience, and there are the people who will send YouTube for years and years and years to come. And each of these people who is not already a Silverfish owner has the possibility of enriching their lives by getting a scholarship. I live and work in the World Profit United States office in Cambridge, in the middle of the internet. And there are 71 colleges and universities within shouting distance of where I'm talking to you today. Harvard and Premier right on my very street. And then like the circles, a pond, you throw in a rock, but more and more. 71. It's the most concentrated amount and number of educational institutes in the history of the world. It's right here. What do? They give scholarships. Hundreds of millions, billions of dollars of scholarship money. Why do they do that? They identify the most rational and likely candidates for success, and they empower these people. And yes, it's not without strings. When did you ever know a rich anything, a rich uncle, much less a rich sister, who say, oh, there's no strings, honey, just enjoy yourself. Such money exists in Broadway shows, but not in real life. So today we're going to be talking about World Profit's place amidst the givers, the empowerers, the people who make a difference. We see every kind of person who wants to succeed on the net, and I mean every kind, from the poorest of the poor to the looniest of the looniest, to the most sublime candidates imaginable. They all come here. We've been dealing with them for over 20 years. And we want to empower. Right today, I'm home 4 scholarship packages. And I want to say something to my fellow members of the committee. Every monitor is, now I knew it would happen, a member of the scholarship committee. That's right, just as at Harvard. You may not know this, but there are hundreds of scholarship committees at Harvard, for every kind of type of student, purpose, and kind of instrument. So we are going to invest some of our limited resources to empowering people all over the world. How does that sound to you, Sharon? You have so many. You like the old woman who lived in the shoe who had so many children. She doesn't know what to do. You're on the hunt for scholars.
That is true. I have a house full, and 2 of them have had scholarships to college. This is very helpful.
Exactly so. So you know how. Let's just sort of envision a scenario. The day that your first daughter brought home a scholarship notification, how did you feel? You heard on one side. You came out with experience and reflection and the knowledge of the importance. How did you feel when you opened the envelope? And tell the truth. Did you open the envelope or did she?
No, I had opened it.
Yeah.
I always open their mail, especially when it's from a school. Actually, I was proud. I was very. I always knew that she did well in high school, but to have the nation and was willing to pay for part of.
And isn't that wonderful that we can do the same thing at World Profit for people all over the world? Feel proud about our investment in people. That's right. Everyone should feel proud. The person who gets it, the work that he or she did, the person who gives it, the time and trouble it took to earn it, nurture it, protect it, and defend it. Everybody wins in a scholarship, except the people who turn them down or don't get them for failure to live up to the grade standards and whatever other standards there are. So today, we are launched on a sea of possibilities, looking for 4 people. And before I go another step, if any of you 4 cares to self-identify yourself this moment, do so. Stand before us and say, I am the person. I do want to succeed on the internet. I do understand I cannot do it alone. I do want to be part of a team. I do want the resources that you bring to the table. John Mizgoda, Ron Trujillo, the 2 people in particular, and then the people looking in the window from all over the world. Sharon, it's very important that I'm sure your daughter at one point said to herself, or maybe you said to her, you're going to do this. She said, oh, I'm tremulous, dear mama. And you say, you're not as tremulous as I am. We're going to do this together and we're going to succeed. Wasn't there that sort of camaraderie? When a daughter ceases to be just a daughter and becomes a colleague?
I hope to raise all my kids to be.
Yeah,
I didn't have to tell her.
They've got good ones. Now, a little later in the program, we're going to start talking. We're going to give the offer. And 4 people. Now, if any of you wish to jump the gun, and perhaps you're from Oklahoma, perhaps you're a Sooner, go, jump it. Jump the gun. Show some initiative. It's fine with me. Click on the red box that says order now. You want option number 1, the monthly option. And in a few minutes, we're going to Sharon and I will walk you through the special emoluments, features of the scholarship package. But don't sit there and say, and if any of you are saying this, I spare you. Oh, no one ever helped me. No one ever directed me to any money sources. They didn't love me. They loved this one for this reason and this one for this reason. How about just describing it to Cheryl plain laziness? There are tens of thousands of different variations of scholarships, work-study programs, and outright gifts, and scholarships based on need, and those are based on merit, and so on. We deal with them all. You know what? I think we should do the offer now. I changed my mind. Or that's it. Now, folks, and I'm speaking not only to the people in this room now, but I'm speaking to posterity in the form of a YouTube desert place where this program will be lodged for eternity. Think of yourself as an empowered individual, not as a schlepper being ground down by humanity. Sharon, why don't you read the beginning of the offer, and then I'll pick it up from there. Okay. Folks, this is the scholarship offer. We have 4 of these packages only to confer on 4 very fortunate people. Go ahead.
Those of you that finished the silver membership presentation already know the awesome offer that we have for you. If you do order in the next 10 minutes, you do get dollar bonus offers made in the video. Or offer to 90,000 of our subscribers every month, get over 500 landing pages and over profit sources. Also, our monitors will be closing sales for you daily without ever charging you anything. Finally, your commission earnings are from 20 to 100%. Next part of the offer, if you order in 5 minutes, you do 50 members placed under you immediately. These are hot leads. These are free members just like you. When you upgrade to silver directly under you, you sign them into your program, or they upgrade here. You get to click on the red order button and start placing your order now, and there is never any contract nor obligation. All services are backed by World Profit's Ironclad Guarantee service. Still, there's more. Silver membership. When you order now, you do get the 500 landing pages, 1,500 sales closing 24 hours a day, over 100 training lessons, which is members placed under you now, email blast to 90,000 people per month, over 100,000 ad credits per month. You get Facebook marketing courses, 3 of them, on how to generate thousands of leads using Facebook marketing. You can use these resources to generate leads and traffic for any business. When you upgrade to silver, you can be on your way to consistent income now. Your package does include the traffic, the leads, the trusted advice resources, the comprehension online training program, plus sales closing for you 24 hours a day. No other company offers this. World Profit's ironclad backing is based on our 20 years in business and exclusive freebies. And Dr. Plant wants to offer or add on to that.
I do. This is the foundation. Sharon has just read you the opening gun, the opening gambit of the scholarship package. Now I'm going to sweeten this pie. Good thing I now have pie on my mind. First of all, I'm going to give each of the 4 of you who take advantage of this scholarship proposal 100 customers off my personal list. They will be transferred to your account this very afternoon. An email will be sent to each of them announcing that you are their sponsor, and when they purchase, as they will, you will get the commissions. In addition, I will give you 1 free copy of my best-selling book, Net Profits, my 19th book, for sale at Amazon.com for $29.95. This is not just a book, it's a clarion call, it's a plan, it's a treasure trove with a description. It's a whole bunch of things that lead down to one thing: money. And I fool around about every single thing on this planet, but I never fool around about money. Now, next, we're going to take some of our resources and we're going to pay one of your bills. That bill is your 2nd month as a World Profit Silver Package owner. We're going to give you 2 months for the price of 1. And I can also tell you about a little hint that George Koch will be contributing to this, as he always does, by including, as he develops them, his various brilliant applications. I'm supposed to say apps. I always thought an app was a snake that killed Cleopatra, but no, that's not true. George is the inventor of apps, software, strategies. He's an instructor par excellence of the step-by-step program. All this, plus everything else that's in our silver package, is yours this afternoon, this very time. Now, again, I'm going to say, if anyone wants to jump now, there will be 4. And Sharon, it puzzled me. Well, let me put it this way. A scholarship to a person is an indication of a special place in the firmament. When Harvard gives a scholarship, it's an indication that that person is significant to that exceptional degree. When MIT gives a fellowship, it's saying to the person into the world, this is a person of merit. Now, we are giving these packages to people who have a snowball's chance in hell of making it work. 99% of the people trying to make money on the internet will fail. 99%. What we're saying is we believe that the people we enter into these relationships are part of the 1%. Now, if you think you're going to make money off of the 99%, you're not. Nobody has figured that out. Nobody will ever figure it out. It can't be done. You need support. You need teams. You need instruction. You need all sorts of time, trouble, traffic, all those T's that were on the screen earlier. So, Jim, my first question to you is, and Jim cannot hear us, unfortunately, but Ron Trujillo cannot either. So we have Jim and Ron Trujillo who are on the order form and may bring down the number of packages available to 2. And after that, it's a piece of cake. What do you think about that, Sharon? What we're doing is we're designating people to be the leaders of the internet. And I know that sounds grandiose, but when you work with George Koch, who is a bona fide pilgrim hero, Trackmeister, the guy who set the rules and regulations and developed all the apps and all that, you're working with him. He's the guy that's conferring upon you via the scholarship that level of potential standing. We're not saying you will have it. You could do better. You might do worse, but you could. We are teaching you how to begin the process that will result in the utmost better work. When you think about the scholarships that we're giving out, and I know you've given them out to people, what is your thought? What do they say to you when you announce that you're empowering? You, Sharon Somerville, off of our scholarship committee, have determined that this person is in for at least some success, or even titanic success.
They're excited, and I know that the that I've given away so far since we started this have been right back in there.
Now,
George makes that so easy for everyone.
Now I'm going to ask, and I hope I don't have to ask twice. In my household, for example, if you mentioned the word pie, it was eaten. You didn't have to ask about the pie twice, it was gone. In the same sense, these scholarships are like pie. I hope and pray people here now are bright enough to realize that I'm talking to you. I'm going to be in a position to move you from the slough of despond in which you find yourself to the busy side in which George Koch finds himself. That is what today is all about. Ron, it is a pity you gentlemen are not communicating with us. I would love to have your comment, but we'll get some more information. I'm thrilled about the scholarship program because it indicates that we have reached a level of maturity as an organization to be in a position to pinpoint who will make it and who won't. Now, nobody who should make it is happy. And in fact, the saddest thing of all is the illusions, the delusions in which they bathe themselves every single day. Now, before we go on, I'm going to give one more shot to anybody who is in the room, who has made a decision already. And remember, I'm not kidding when I say 4. I mean 4. And we now have Dilcia, Ron Trujillo, and they are in the order form, so that we can't talk to them right now until they get out. So let's segue into our main program for the day. I want to talk about time. I want to talk about the internet. I want to talk about God, man, and humanities. You have never been in, or will you ever see again, an atmosphere where we make money 27/365. There isn't a minute of the internet day, and note I give you the qualifier. There's not a second in the internet day which kept the launch pad for money. And yet most of you act like Dwight David Eisenhower is still the President of the United States. And all the business go from 9 to 5. Well, that worked for Dolly Parton, but it's not going to work for you. 9 to 5 is gone. How many of you are beginning to understand what universality means, eternity means, never closing means, no special dates? What's the difference between December 25th and July? There isn't any on the internet. absorbs all, knows all, is all, moves all, transforms all. Sharon, when did you begin to understand? Because you've been on the internet now for 20 years or so. When did you begin to understand that the internet was not your average bear? It's not like Yogi Berra. It was different, categorically different enemy.
Well, I think I understood that it was different right when I started to start doing that, right? Or just teaching us now. I didn't realize how important it realized that you could only just do it once and let it be done. You can't do that. You have to keep promoting. You have to keep promoting. I didn't realize how important it was to have a list and to building a new list on a regular basis.
Well, I am proud to be the inventor of this aphorism. The list is the business is the list. And according to Mr. Allen of real estate fame, I invented the phrase multiple income stream, which fits right in here too. He gave me credit for that phrase from one of my books. Why does it matter? If you approach the business of doing business on the internet like you were a 1956 shoe store and closed rigidly at 5 p.m., locked up and went home, you're not going to make any money on the net. The internet has the capacity to make no money or a great deal of continuing money. The list is the beginning of the key. Well, let's go back. The paradigm shift is the key to beginning the discussion. You have to be willing to understand that just because you are at a certain time and you think that Saturday is a concept and you think that Christmas is a concept, the internet doesn't think of you on any of those points. It reminded me of Paul Robeson singing Old Man River. He must know something. He don't say nothing. He just keeps gliding along. The internet is the Mississippi River of our international information highway. You think about it. The Mississippi is the greatest river in the history of the world. It must say something that don't say nothing. It just keeps gliding along. How many of you understand now that your inability to grasp the concept of time as seen from the perspective of the internet is costing you a packet every single day because you go to sleep at this time. The internet doesn't sleep at that time. The internet doesn't sleep at all. And you are going to lock up your business at this time. The internet doesn't lock any of your doors. They don't lock it. They don't open windows. They don't open doors. They don't close windows. They just continue. The internet is a fountain of unending prosperities, gifts, monies, treasures, positions, statures. Now, does everybody get this? And I'm looking for some little comments from the peanut gallery here. I want to know that you all are following with my argument. Linda, LZ.
Eyes are beeping. I'll be right back.
Time and tide will wait for a pie. We'll just pause for we'll take a pie break. Anything goes, so we're looking to expect. We're waiting for the pie cream. Maybe because if I stop the program for 10 minutes, she'll send me one. And here comes the pie cream now.
Too bad we don't have the smell
let
ability.
Me taste your wares. All right, so this is a problem for most people. Most people want Dwight Eisenhower's 55. They want it to be slower, softer, simpler, and all the other adjectives that go with that, which all died about 50 years ago. The internet has taken us into a whole new dimension of cosmology, which is the study of the cosmos and of time. And you say, isn't that God's prerogative? No. It's sharing some of those prerogatives. She is the one who's establishing the business. This is my prerogative. I'm the one who is eradicating myself of hours. Have you ever noticed about me that I don't see to in a normal way with time deadlines and be in this place at this time and wear clothes and be in this inn and buy this car? You know, the Rolling Stones said it best. They don't smoke the same cigarettes as he does. You can't get no satisfaction. The internet takes away all the fence, if you will, of time that have been brought up and developed over thousands of years. Ever since the beginning, we've been working on a definition of what is and what's part of time. The internet doesn't even worry about that. Everything it touches changes, including the very definition and idea of time. What do you think about that, Sharon? That you now are in a position to never stop making money. Never. Unless you do the itsy-bitsy little fatal thing of not building your list, which is a killer. It's the Ebola virus of the internet.
Well, you can't give in, and you can't throw in the towel. You got to build your list. And luckily, over the years, I finally started to learn that. But even though I learned it a while back, I still wasn't able to do it without George's video training and everything that we have here at World Profit. It's been incredible what we really have.
Do you know that this
still
morning,
hard work, but it makes it easier.
We had a woman from South Africa. It always seems like it's South Africa. And my nightmares, it's South Africa. South Africa. And she said that she knew absolutely nothing about the internet, didn't even know what a list was, and didn't come along with it, didn't accept our offer of a scholarship because the timing didn't suit her. I said, woman, do you expect with no list to sell products? Who's going to be? Is like Tinkerbell or the Tooth Fairy going to be at that end dishing out the cash? I said, have you no... I'm sorry, people, but I'm not politically correct. I don't even know what it means. I can't be politically correct. It's again my religion. I said, are you a knucklehead? No list? Who's going to buy your products? Well, what products? So it's not only she had no thing to sell, but she had no one to sell it to. And out of this farrago of nonsense, she expects to make money. First thing I want you all to take away from today is, there ain't no day, there ain't no minute, there ain't no second of any day when you can't make money. If you say, oh, I need $100 at 10 o'clock in the morning, that's terrific, wonderful, peachy and keen. So what about 10:02 in the morning? What about 10:06? What about 11:01 p.m.? In other words, you are the people imposing restrictions on your wealth. Not me, not George Kosh, not World Profit, and certainly not the internet. What are you going to say to that? I'm convulsing you. I'm saying, so you made money at 8 o'clock? Terrific, wonderful, could be better. What about the next minute? What have you done for me lately? Do you think about it in those terms? The sheer limitlessness of the concept of time and the mechanisms of making a network.
First, my internet second.
Unfortunately, we missed part of that because you can say it again, but some of your words didn't take.
My priorities in my life are, of course, my family first, and go hand in hand. And
well, now you're going to deal. You're going to deal with. You see, I'm a philosopher, and I think that's a false distinction. I think as you get richer and richer, you get your family. So I think it's a false dichotomy to say, over here in the first corner of the World Welterweight Championship, we have family. And over here, we have the runner-up, and we have internet. That doesn't work that way.
Well, what I mean is that, of course, if my kid needs me, but when they don't need me, I'm online promoting.
Excuse me, but do you share your wealth with your children?
Absolutely.
Well, then it's a false dichotomy. Then it's a false dichotomy to say over here, we got, and over here. No, it's all part and parcel of the same thing. I, in my life, do not recognize...
I'm not separating them.
Good.
There's
now,
3 priorities.
How many of you... We're not finished with this discussion, but I want to take a preliminary poll, as it were. How many of you are beginning to have an inkling in your head that the list is the business list and that the list must be used? Can't put it away in a safety deposit box. Oh, I got to put this on his bank. It's got to be used every single day. It's got to be used. Using it makes your money. Not using it doesn't. Does everybody understand this? And I want to bring in Charles Mel to the conversation and Ron Trujillo. Charles Mel and Ron Trujillo, we are in a position, and all you 66 folks looking in the window, we are in a position to give you a scholarship to catapult you head and shoulders above the average person on the internet who will never succeed. We're giving you the tool you need. Charles, acknowledge that I've just said to you, and Ron Trujillo the same. Again, one of the hardest things that humans do is we get attached to paradigms. Like we get attached to old kittens, and we get attached to that rock over there. Here's where he proposed to me. Oh God, we're a nauseating, sentimental bunch. The internet is not sentimental. The internet is purely business. It was Diane Sawyer who said, what do you get when you become successful? You get more success. In other words, once you put a little toe on the Mississippi, remember my analogy? You put your toe in the water, you didn't drown, you didn't break it, you didn't lose it, you are now on the way. In my heyday as a direct mail marketer, which makes me a prototype for the internet, I used to spend $250,000 a year on postage. I might as well have gone to the window and thrown it out. And here's what I say about that. 99% of the people receiving a card deck threw in the trash. The 1% that answered made me a multi-millionaire. I called myself the most rejected person in America and the happiest. But the promotions never stop. Never. Not for any false reason. Does everyone understand this? And will everyone take a vow to ratchet up, want more, do more, exult, have more, enjoy more, be more? You get it? This is the internet has empowered people. And you are the people that's empowered because you were smart enough to get the tools, the training, you were smart enough to look at the class and say, that's my boy. Sharon learned along the way. It isn't a thing. It's a daily. It's actually a minute by minute thing. George Koch told me one day, 20 years ago, that he foresaw an internet that will profit, where once every minute there would be a transaction. You know how many times we've transgressed it? Now we laugh. Our minds were boggled when he said that. How could a coffee table business in Greater Edmonton have a transaction a minute? He knew somewhere in that head of his, he knew that's the way it's going to be. How many of you would like a transaction every minute? Go on, admit it.
We want it.
On a rendezvous, Richardson. How many would like it? Oh, many. Oh, I'll tell you who wouldn't. Oh, you know, Shannon, gotta go to the doctor that day. I can't do that. Oh, I gotta bake the pies today. Oh, I gotta prune the radishes today. Do you know how many trillion excuses have appeared on this screen? More excuses than have existed since the conception of the humanity. Every excuse known to man, woman, and child has appeared on this. And I want to empower you, since some of you need my empowerment, my wizardry skills. Here it comes. I lay a hand on you. You have permission to promote, render, to make more. And it's not difficult. You know what's difficult, Sharon? Working in a coal mine. That's difficult. And it might even kill you. Cleaning up oil slicks. That's dangerous. That'll kill you.
My husband
It's
works
difficult
in the oil
working
fields every day. It's hard.
And it's hard work. So this is a piece of cake. Souffle at that. Lighter than air. For the last 40 years, or or so, I have been conceptualizing how one person like me would make millions of dollars. I'm working off the same desk that I had 50 years ago. I have the same phone and the same phone number I had 50 years ago. I have the same fax number I had, in the picture, 50 years ago. The same accountant, the same bookkeeper, the same lawyer, the same doctors, the same financial planners.
Loyal.
Because I don't want to go around about, oh, I can get this marginal advantage here and this marginal advantage there. The key to the proposition is what I call keeping every asset in play. And I'd appreciate it shared if you wrote that on the screen. What does that mean? When you make a buck, that's an asset. You keep the asset in play. What does that mean? It means you use it to buy things, borrow things, leverage things, grow things, pay for things.
Or make more of them.
A dollar is the... and make more money. In the early days of World Profit, George Koch used to take a $20 U.S. bill and scotch tape it to the top of his computer screen. And he would say, this is how many dollars we have to have today to keep the doors open. Now listen to what I'm going to tell you, because we're prouder than punch of this. We never borrowed a nickel to finance this company. Do you know how many companies on the internet can tell you that are all they grew through selling of products and nothing else? Not a penny of bank finance, all paid for by customer purchases. Do you folks realize how rare that is? And when people come in here and say, oh, $99, and oh my God, you're pleasing me, I think to myself, have you got a clue? Have you got a clue? We never borrowed a nickel and leveraged every nickel we got to make the next dime. When I was reading an article about pack rats recently, it's the hardest way, but the best.
Hardest way.
Pack rats, I was reading a story about pack rats. Pack rats have the ability to differentiate values. They will rather steal a dime than a nickel, because a dime is shiny. And I thought, by God, proof positive I must be a pack rat. So the first thing we're going to have today, and this is going to go down in history as one of our most valuable meetings, is that I want you to stop being so damn smug, because you worked 12 hours today. You worked 12, you wasted 12. Where's the glory in that? You got to understand, the internet doesn't care about anything but the process of transacting business. That's it. Now, some of the business may not be very pleasant, like pornography or whatever, but that's a transaction nonetheless. It's all about transmission and that. What do you think about this? Are the little gray cells popping today? Have you got your popcorn popping hat on? When people hear me talk about these things, they say, like Samuel Wentz says, everybody who was alive in 1955 or so, Ed Sullivan. You remember Ed Sullivan? Well, he had a character named Samuel Wentz. See you in the box. Everything's all right? It's all right. You sure? It's all right. Difficult for you, easy for me. And America laughed. It was so stupid. It was extremely funny. You've got to understand, you are breaking paradigms. And the extent to which you give in before you've broken the barrier is the extent to which you've accepted failure. I don't accept failure. I'll be making a deal on my way up the heavenly stairs, St. Peter. I'll say, just a minute, sir. Almost got this deal done. I've got one more package to sell. I want to remind everyone that we are in a position in this company to help 4 terrifically good and lucky people today. Not like the woman from South Africa who said, oh, I don't know a damn thing, but I can't do it. My response to that is open the window and throw your computer outside, then go down with a baseball bat and grind it into the mud. Or you and the computer will never be as one. Now I want to talk to you about another aspect of time you've never thought about. In the early days of my company, Jeffrey Land Associates, this is long prior. George Koch may not have even been born at that point. I never asked, and I don't want to know. I discovered that America was a gridlock of promotional opportunities, made of radio and television and print publications. But we're just going to talk about radio and television for a moment. I didn't have the money, nor did I wish to spend the money that it would take to buy radio advertising. I always thought that was for dum-dums. Smart people like me got the time free. And in those days, there were things called talk shows, call-in shows, and quiz shows, and all. I was on every single thing. I broadcast from room closets. I broadcast from the middle of pastures in Wisconsin. I did programs when I was soaked to the skin from rain. I did things when I tripped in the mud. And when my plants were split in New York, I did the program. Because I knew that every program that I did would make money. And they did. That's how I made my first $1 million. By utilizing other people's technical resources called radio, television, newspapers, and magazines. Now on the internet, a lot of these things are changing, but this will not change. I want you to listen to me. Most of you sleep between 12 midnight and 6 a.m. in your district. You sleep. That's all right and good. Sleep is good, I guess. I've heard it's good. But how many of you promote? How many of you say, I'm going to send out 3,000 of these gizmos before I go to bed? And then I'm going to reward myself. I'm going to pat myself on the back, and I'm going to have a piece of pie, or even two. How many of you understand that life doesn't stop at 6 p.m. in your neighborhood? As you well know, very often in the night, I go visit the troops. On the model of Marcus Aurelius, when he visited the battalions in Germany, which were fighting against the Roman Empire. He wanted to find out what those commanders were doing, and I want to know too. And I go in there, and they're all charming people, bright people, you know them all. They were sitting there twiddling their thumbs because there was no one to close. And I'm thinking to myself, there's something wrong with this picture. People are here ready, willing, and able to close business, and no business will be closed. People, start to recognize that the evening is just a darker shade of the day. And the day is just a lighter form of shade. Right. But I'm talking about each person within their own 12 to 6 a.m. zone for wherever mounts, those hours in mountain time, Greenwich Mean Time. Use them. You'll be the only one doing it. You know, Linda Elsie's a phenomenon, as we all know. But Linda, I know her like the back of my book, and she's now going, oh my God, I've left all those hours gone, wasted. Linda, write me a little itsy bitsy saying here, as the popcorn in your brain goes off with all these aha moments. What do you think about that? Are you going to stamp the seal of Linda the Queen throughout the night? Mozart has a song for you. It's called The Queen. Every one of you needs to think bigger. Utilize the time. Johnny, please come in. We have a special present for you if you'll speak to us. I know wherever I speak in this matter, one of my prime grounds when I was making my first money was between 12 o'clock at midnight and 6 o'clock in the morning for the calling radio shows. I was the master all over this nation of talk radio. You know what? Every few minutes I'd say, and for a copy of my latest book, blah, blah, blah. And we've written 20 books. We always have a latest book. I started by giving my mother's phone number. First time I did it, my mother she just went hysterical. My God, you gave my number out on CBS radio. Every kook in Los Angeles will be calling you. You know who called? There were no obscene calls. There were people with credit cards. We worked like the devil, processing orders so we could clear the phone line so that people could get through. With you people with your Skypes and your picture phones. Hey, are you making money? My mom and me, one phone line in Los Angeles in the middle of the night. We made money. It was a terrifier. I learned my lesson. Put an answering machine on. You could take the orders. So here's the deal. I want you all to make a pledge that you'll expand your horizons into the night. I want you to understand, I want you to expand your horizon into the way other people and other cultures think about the 4th of July. They don't think about it. We think about it. They don't think. They do their little ditzy thing that they do every day. Good. That's what you want. When other people cease to work, you work twice as hard. And it'll be fun, and you'll feel better about it. Tell you a little story about, you hear about the story about the first Noel. Well, the first Noel. I was up in Edmonton with George and Sandy. We were always working hard. George would tell me in Sandy a technical language what he was working on. And then we would work with him so we could translate it into English. It was like, I sat at the computer. George would sit over my shoulder, and Sandy would be at the computer, and I'd be at the other end. And this is how we wrote all of our early documents. Then we worked hard, and we the world owed us something. We made the mistake of sitting down on the carpet in the living room, one of George's jet fuel martinis, which is enough to choke a horse. And in time-honored tradition, our Christmas dinner consisted of sea salt, potato chips, and martinis. We were so tired we couldn't even pick ourselves up off the floor. But it was a kind of feeling of triumph that we'd done something good and noble and important. And so we had. So I want to see some pledges here. I pledge Dr. Len, that's a good one. We want to speak to G. Allen Holden. G. Allen Holden, you were here the other day. In fact, Alan, I remember a conversation with you. Alan, are you here to purchase your silver package and get the special scholarship kit? Alan Holden, are you here to get your scholarship kit? Or do you need to hear from you? Johnny H., you need to keep in touch with us here and say that you hear us. Alan, if you don't talk to us, we're not able to help you, and you won't get the scholarship package. We were happy to learn sometime later that on a similar occasion, Bill Gates, multimillionaire, whose office, by the way, was right across the street from where I'm speaking to you at Harvard, he jumped over at age 19 because he was bored and he had too many important places to see and people to meet. Who needs Harvard? We have already made a couple million, not even 20. One day, the staff found him face down in a pizza box. Soon to be the richest man in the world, was working on a project, he collapsed, as we all did. That's what it takes, the joy of collapsing. And no one was going to tell you that you couldn't do it. It was your God-given right. You wanted to go farther and do more? By God, if it's about sleeping in a pizza box? Well, I'd say more power to you. I've slept in pizza boxes myself. And passed out on George's living room rug. And there is no greater compliment than that I can possibly pay. So Sharon, we've got to get these people to utilize the night, absorb a new idea of time, the Internet's version of time, not your personal version of time. We went beyond the customary vision of time long ago. And now we've made our bed, let's lay in it, and let's make sure it's covered with a coverlet of gold, because that's the case. You can only make money on the Internet if you do it right. It pains me. It irritates me. It disappoints me. It enrages me. We find people coming in here and say, I don't need any help. I don't need Kosh. I don't need Hunter. I don't need Len. I don't need you. I don't need anyone. You need a psychiatrist. Possibly a warrant from the governor for your immediate arrest. What is that? Isn't it great on you, Sharon, when you hear these people coming in here who are just plain bone stupid, and they're telling you what they're going to do and what they're not going to do when they haven't got a clue?
Guy in the room, I guess last week, saying that he was already overloaded with his 3 affiliate links. I laughed and I'm like, dude, I have 1,000 affiliate links that are creating all into one thing, one system right here, one system. You can do more than 3 with World of Profit. and have it all combined. And he didn't get it. He didn't get that. Well, he was like, God bless you if you have that many. I don't know how you keep up with it all. And I said, because I have the tools to keep up with it all, and I have the training from George to keep up with it all, and I have products like our virus, then now ads for me, and I 1,000 different products. I could if I.
But still waiting to hear from G. Allen Holden. Let me say this. Your money should be coming in like popcorn. It should be popping like a popcorn popper. This one produces $5 over here. This one produces $53 over here. This one has $76. This one has 3 cents over here. Pop, 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 pop. No one examines the single kernel. When was the last time you sat with a magnifying glass at your stove looking at a piece of popcorn? I have news for you. Outside of Orville Redenbacher, no human being has ever done this. Pop, 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 pop. Instead of pop, think money. I realized a long time ago that you were running a I was in that case running a popcorn popper. It didn't matter what the amount of money was, it mattered that it was continuous and growing. And that you were always adding more ways of getting money, squeezing it. How many of you, and here's the acid test, dear people, how many of you did not add an income stream this week? You went a whole week with no new income stream.
I've added 3 this week.
All right, good. Patrice, Alan Holden, Linda, every single person in World Profit needs to hear this recording today. They're not thinking. They're trying to cut a deal with the devil, which they say, well, if I do as little as possible and know as little as possible and study as little as possible and never achieve anything, can I still be rich? Sure, honey. And I'm the Pope. I mean, it's just so damn witless. It's humiliating to listen to this drivel. Don't you think? Or do you still feel sorry for them?
Sorry for anyone who doesn't want to take.
I tell you this, and we're running out of time, and I'm going to ask Sharon to go down in a minute so Patrice can come up and take a bow. First of all, I want to thank Sharon Somerville for getting into the spirit of the enterprise. She gets it. She's a joy to work for. She's damned opinionated, of course. That's what we expect of those honorary Westerners. But I'm an honorary Westerner myself, so she's checkmated from the get-go. She likes what we're doing it. She speaks well of us. People like her. And all that's to the good. So my gift to you this Christmas season
but I'm still teachable.
Yeah, yes you are. So long as one can make small adjustments. For this Christmas, which starts today, I want you to designate yourself as the primary gift receiver. What's the gift to give yourself? The gift of the popcorn popper. I want you to have popping things. And don't say, oh, this should have made $65 when it made $63.50. Don't worry about that. Don't sweat the small stuff. Worry that there are not a million kernels popping. Bloop, 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 bloop. When Jeffrey Bezos lived in Cambridge, yes, you know Cambridge, where I'm speaking to you now? Jeffrey Bezos lived here too. Everybody lives in Cambridge. He had one asset. You know what he had? You know what his single asset was? Do I care to guess? A Volkswagen VW bashed up. And a bashed up VW Beetle. That was the only thing in the world that he had. And on his way to Nirvana, he came up with the idea of Amazon. And everybody thought, oh, you mean those women who dress up like men on all those Greek islands so long ago? Nope, the river. He understood when almost no one understood. The river analogy. That the internet is a never-ceasing river into which everything flows. And there are 2 such rivers in the world, the Mississippi and the Amazon. He chose the Amazon and he turned it into a household word. He's got so much money now, he invents ways to get rid of it. It's a paradigm shift you can hardly imagine. So what I want you to do is empower yourself. I want you to use the popcorn analogy. I want you to think popcorn. want you to go and get some of those, things for the stove and listen to the sound of popcorn and you turn it into money. And it's not difficult. Although for people like Alan Holder who don't talk to us, it's impossible. And that's why we have scholarships, to empower 4 more people today.
Alan hasn't watched the video yet. He's been in here 12 times and watched the video.
I find it interesting listening to these people who can't be bothered to do anything that it takes to make money and then complain. So Sharon, go down, please. We're going to bring up Patrice, and then you're going to come back for the great finale, popcorn. And we have our lovely Patrice Porter from Big River, Saskatchewan, who is no doubt taking notes. Patrice is a true popcorn popper.
Good day, Dr. Lant, and all our members and guests looking in, and another rousing show, and of course always inspired and nudged on to do more, and it's got my brain popping of thinking, okay, where am I gonna bring in that money from? Over here, over there, how do I do that there? And it's always great to have the inspiration from you. And if anybody wants to catch the replay of this program, you can catch it on the World Profit Tube at www.worldprofittube.com, or the YouTube channels Patrice Porter, and the earlier Anything Goes programs are at the Pat Porter channel. And if you want to check out my Home Business Central, you can go to www.20waystoprofit.com. And also, I've used the tools and resources from World Profit to help people create abundance by gardening. And that's at www.gardeningforfoodsecurity.com. And I'm hoping that Alan Holton doesn't just sit there for another time and miss out on this great opportunity, because that is what it is, a great opportunity, and I hope more take us up on that. Break people into internet success.
But tonight and all through your nights, I want you to I want you to get one of those automatic popcorn things at the supermarket. Jiffy Pop. And I want you to put it on the stove, and I want you to hear not popcorn, but the sound of money popping in your pocket.
That's where my brain's heading right now. I'm going to be up in the next hour, and with that, I'll say my adieus till next time at 1 p.m. Eastern on the Anything Goes program. Bye for now.
That is Patrice Porter, who helped me with scheduling and the arrangements and all the wires that we need to be wired for this program. This program is the longest running live program on the internet. And Sharon Somerville will come up for your last remarks. And we will finish today's program and look forward to tomorrow. And of course, we're looking for, particularly today, finding those 4 people who deserve the scholarships that we put together. Alan Holden, if you talk to me, you should be reminding me of what we talked about and when, because you're going to lose this scholarship. What are your final thoughts for today, Sharon Somerville?
On the whole day, well,
anything your little heart desires. Just give me one of those thoughts.
Definitely got my brain popping. I've already got several windows so I can get my popcorn popping again. I'm anxious to.
I'm going to leave you with a thought that I came up with a long time ago. In the days ahead, when all the water of the world is poisoned and tainted, in the days ahead when all the air is polluted, black with grime, in the days when all the animals have been eradicated and all the plants are dead, there will be money. Because everything that we kill is God-made. The money is man-made. There will never be an ending to that. Never. Until the day we end our hegemony of this planet, that will be the last day there will be money. That ain't coming anytime soon. So get out there and enjoy money. And remember King Louis Philippe's famous aphorism, enrichez-vous, enrich yourself. It's easy to do. You know this stuff. But you see people like Alan Holden, don't ask for help, don't get help, don't even know help is available, and fail and then say, "Dang, it was a scam, it didn't work." Alan Holden is the scam. It doesn't work, not the internet. We are the reality of people making it all and doing very well. Thank you, everybody. You'll be seeing me again tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time in this space. This is the longest running live program on the internet. It's called Anything Goes. And we remember our forefather, Mr. Cole Porter. In olden days, eclipse of stocking was looked upon as something talking about. Now, God knows anything goes. See you tomorrow.